Fantastic.
So fun night. When? Like?
We haven't set it up yet. The sorority, the fraternities, and all those things were going to get together with me, and I guess and do something with it. I don't know.
Student Senate or someone will
Yeah.
probably coordinate it.
Yeah. And if not, we'll just do it on our own. It's just we get the room. But now our room is being taken up by the bookstore, so
I was going to say, now we've got everybody shifted. Yeah.
The theater will oh no, we're going to.
No, we're not in the theater. The theater would still be open.
Theater? Okay.
Yeah, because of all the plays, and I would think that we're going to have that open. So.
Yeah.
Maybe in the theater.
It's fun. It's fun. It's really a fun time. We show some optical illusions, a little magic, little things like this.
That does sound fun.
Do you do the magic too? Little magic tricks?
Real simple things. Nobody disappears, and no lions and tigers, so real simple stuff.
That's great.
That sounds like it's going to be exciting. So we'll have to announce it on our next show when you have a date finalized. Or
Nancy was there last time. She enjoyed it, I think.
Nancy Lucart?
Mm-hmm.
When you went to high school or college, did you go thinking you were going to go into chiropractic medicine, or?
No, actually, I started out as I went in as pre-med. I was going to be a heart surgeon. That's what I always wanted to be ever since I was like 5 years old.
Really?
That was my goal. And then when I was in, junior of high school, I was the quarterback for our football team, and I was getting ready to go to college and had some college offers for it was all a conference and all that stuff. But anyway, I got injured, and I went to the medical doctors, and they really didn't have much to help me. So I went to a chiropractor and I got relief. So he basically turned me on to an alternative way of dealing with what I had, and it sounded feasible and sounded more natural for me, so that's where I kind of migrated after that. But initially, after I decided I wasn't going to be a medical doctor, I went into pest management and biology and things at Iowa State, completely like 180 degrees from what I was going to do. And I enjoyed that, and that's kind of why I kind of tried for this biology position here at MCC. Because initially I was hired as the biology instructor, and now I've kind of migrated back to anatomy and physiology since Jana Fowler took over.
So your bachelor's degree is in biology?
Biology, science, pest management, and education, biology education. I hadn't got a lot of the education classes taken yet because of transferring, things like that. But.
So if a student is talking to one of the advisors and they're looking at pre-chiropractic, is biology a natural fit?
Yes.
For pre-chiro?
Fits pretty well, yep.
We've been told in the past, and I'll just ask if you agree or disagree, that if a student needs a sequence like Bio 1 and 2, Chem 1 and 2, would you suggest that they do either the entire sequence here or the entire sequence at the four-year school versus part 1 here and part 2 there? Or do you feel that it matters?
No, I think you'd just do them here. I think this is a great place to get all the education you need, everything. I mean,
well, I feel that way
of
too,
course.
but that's just us.
We get, if you have the sequences, you go through, and as long as they transfer, this is the best place to get it done. We have a lot more one-on-one care. We care what the students do. I remember when I was at Iowa, the first day for organic chemistry, the instructor walked in and he said, 60% of you will fail this class. And
I need better odds than that.
yeah, I figured, that might be me, so.
Yeah.
But we don't do that here.
Well, it does make sense to have them do the sequence in one place, and if you're starting here, you might as well finish it. And if they're offered, it makes sense.
Finish your loops and get it done, and
the
then
flow, where they stop and begin, and it's different.
Yes.
I think that's what I've heard at most of the transfer advising sessions that I've gone to, is that that's what they would recommend as well. Is if you're going to start it at the community college, finish it there, and if you don't start it, then you start it at the four-year institution. But it makes sense. My question is, how would you describe human? I know that you mentioned a little bit about human biology, but how would you describe when a student is choosing and they're not going into a science major, but they're looking at doing their gen eds and they have to have that life science? between biology and human biology, and I know you teach both, but how would you describe or differentiate between the two?
It's basically the difference in their focus, what they are interested in, I think, more than anything else. If they're interested in more of the body and what's something about themselves, or in biology it's more about life in general, and it's more, in biology 1 it's more abstract. Human biology is more focused on the body itself. So it's more tangible. I mean, they can reach down and touch their toe. You know, if I tell them that there's part of their toe, that how many bones are in their toe, they can relate to that. Some of the biology is a little bit more, you can't really see it. It's like talking about cells in depth and processes that are more chemical in processes. So
Okay.
I think I personally like human biology is for that reason, is that we can relate to it a lot better.
And as far as labs go, I know that for labs in biology, I remember doing those in high school and college, and I'm curious what your human biology labs look like.
Is there any dissection?
Yes, we do some dissection. We do
Not the
dissect.
dissection, I'm hoping that.
We dissect pigs. We haven't had any. Well, one year we did have a girl wanted to donate her ex-boyfriend's brain,
Oh,
but he wasn't dead, and
so that would make it difficult.
that was kind of. But
He's not using it, so you might as well dissect him.
she didn't want him around anyway, so it was just a good fit for us, but we couldn't use it. But most of the time we just dissect some pigs, and we have some fun with that. And then we do a lot of other things like check in your eyes and doing some heart rate and things like this.
So is everyone required to do the dissection portion?
What I do is usually we have about half the students that are willing to do the dissecting, and the other half, they have to hold a notebook and read what's supposed to be doing. So we adapt. We don't expect everyone, especially in that class, to be up to those tasks. Now in the anatomy class, and hopefully this fall we can do this, we're going to get wild animals that have been euthanized and bring them into the class and dissect those. And then we take the skin off, and then we take the bones, the muscles off, and then we dissect everything, look at it, and then we take all the muscle off by boiling them, and then we put the skeletons back together after we bleach them.
Interesting.
Oh my.
So,
That kind of leads into my question. I get constantly, people want to be in forensics because they watch CSI just like I do. So
Or a
where
version of.
do we direct them as far as a major? Is it a chemistry major?
some chemistry, but biology is also a very good measure because we have the biotech is a very good area for people to go into. I took a couple workshops last summer on biotech, and 98% of the people that complete a bachelor's degree in biotech are hired immediately. If you get a master's degree, you almost double your pay and you're assured a job in biotech. And it's doing things like DNA processing and looking at those types of things. So CSI on television is really different than what we have here in Muscatine. We don't have the DNA testing and all that stuff that they do on television. Most cities don't. It's coming around, but it's very expensive to do that. So the CSI, everybody wants to do the forensics or the CSI, but there's not as many openings as what they hoped there would be on those. But that'll change. That'll change.
Tell us about what you did this summer. I think it was just this past summer, wasn't it? You were on the team that...
Yes, I was on the ATEC team. That's actually it's from the district office at Scott, and it's basically we looked at the floods, the major floods, the historical floods, from all the way back from 1927 through 2008. And now we're flooding a little bit now, and at this.
I noticed that the river was up.
And at that time that we actually had the ATEC Fellows program, we were also flooding then too. So we were very fortunate to go to places that were on the verge of flooding, and then we went to places like Coralville, and we took a look at the rocks that had been uncovered, and we went down by Wapello, and We went to national weather. We went everywhere. Every day for 9 days, we were gone all day. It was just amazing.
So who wanted that information, and what did you do
Well,
with it?
when we were finished, we came up with some ideas, some teaching tools for other instructors. We put them on the websites, on the ATEC website, and now any teacher can go download those and use them in their classroom. We came up with presentations and PowerPoints and videos, and it's amazing some of the technology that some of the instructors brought with them. They're just really good stuff.
What are some interesting questions that you've gotten over the years, or what are some like revelations about the human body that really like shocks your students or interests them? Or
most of them, you know, they're really kind of skeptical about, again, I talk about reproduction, but most of them have a lot of questions about reproduction, and they're always kind of skeptical. So what I do, and not just about that, but any other question, I have a special thing that I do in my class where I give an assignment every day. They have to take a 3x5 card, and they put their name and date and 2 questions that they have about the material that we talked about during that class. Then at the end of the class, they hand me the question, and in the next class period, I go through at least half the questions if I can. I can't go through all of them because I wouldn't be able to lecture, but I go through and answer the questions, and I'll answer them. I tell them I'll answer anything. I might change the wording of your question, but I'll answer your question, because some of them get kind of risque, or they don't pull any punches, and I'll answer anything that they put out there because they want to know, and it's my job to teach them what they want to know, and in some way or another, so we get the information to them. But they've asked me all sorts of questions trying to embarrass me or whatever, and it hasn't worked yet.